ridiculous. Well, here's the thing.
Maybe. Sometimes.
Tell me about this. I want to know more.
Oh, yeah. No.
Holy cow.
We've had a lot of fun.
So we're looking at our Google Docs script here, and Nicole is an anonymous skunk. How do they assign anonymous creatures to
I
people?
don't think I have a profile picture for my
I find that unsettling.
Google
But
account.
why a skunk seems a little mean. Some of them are sort of neutral, but an anonymous skunk makes me feel like, there's a spy on our line and Google's wanting to let us know.
I think I was a moose the last time, and I was happy about that.
That's not too flattering. We need
That
like an
seems
anonymous
Canadian,
kangaroo
though.
or
Polar
bear.
kangaroo. Let's
Sometimes
go
it's-
to kangaroo.
Isn't it like a wallaby sometimes?
Yes, there is. They're usually sort of, I don't know, value neutral animals, but skunk seems
Is that even a
judgy.
term?
Come on, Google.
Value
Nicole is
neutral?
perfectly nice.
Yeah, she's not skunky.
No.
Well, speaking of skunks, we've talked here before about scam phone calls and how incredibly annoying they were. I got a scam phone call yesterday from myself. I'm taking a walk with my husband. My cell phone rings in my pocket. I look, and it's me calling, which is like every horror movie. It's coming from inside the house. So I'm like, well, this is weird. And I answered it. And it was, there was the very official sounding tone like, doo, doo, doo. And then this voice was saying, your cell phone account has been suspended until you verify your identity. So at that point, I immediately hung up because I figured, I'm on a walk now. When I get home, I will go on the website and see if this is legit. But, as we were walking, I went on the Google on my phone and I Googled sort of some of the keywords and scam. And sure enough, many people had reported that this is the next question, had I not hung up, would have been, please give the last 4 digits of your social security number to prove your identity, which I would not have done. But it already sounded just weird. I don't think that's the way AT&T notifies people of a problem. So This is your public service announcement from the Parenting Roundabout podcast. If you look at your cell phone and you are calling you, don't answer.
Do not need to answer.
If it makes you nervous, go to your AT&T account and make sure everything's okay. Or just try to make a phone call. If you can make a phone call, then it was a scam. But do not give them the last 4 digits of your social security number unless you enjoy identity theft. So I know they can spoof phone numbers, but I've never had somebody spoof my own phone number.
Yeah.
That is alarming.
That's disturbing.
They should not be able to do that, should they? I don't think so. That doesn't seem right.
But I guess it's like when you get an email from a friend that's really not, where their account has been compromised.
So apparently now, not only do I not answer calls that are coming from people I don't know, I can't even answer calls from me.
Right.
It's a desperate world we live in. There's lots of anonymous skunks out there, so y'all beware. We, however,
even though Nicole is not really one of them.
No. She's a skunk we know very well. She's not anonymous.
As we speak, I'm trying to change my profile picture so I'm not a skunk, so I don't disturb you. So, and it's not working.
Not able.
I don't know how that works because I have a photo associated with Google. So when I'm in a Google Doc, it should show my picture, right?
Yeah. Well, it is showing your picture now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's you and me and the anonymous skunk. But I know sometimes I'm on things and I'm showing up as an animal even though I have a profile picture, and maybe it's something about the relationship you have with the persons. We should dig into this a little bit. How does Google decide who gets a profile pic and who gets a judgy animal?
Yeah. Judgy. Not just any animal either.
Skunk's a little judgy, I think.
Yeah.
Wallaby is fine. A wombat would be a little judgy. I don't know.
A wombat?
I don't know. If I just maligned wombats, wombats are perfectly nice. Hi, wombats.
I guess Google knows that we've been known to judge from time to time here on the podcast.
They did not like the last episode, Nicole. That's an editorial comment from Google.
There you go.
You said something that ticked them off, and now you're an anonymous skunk.
Well, I think we should get started and just see what Google thinks of this episode. Welcome to Parenting Roundabout, a weekly podcast about the things that parents are talking about, obsessing about, and complaining about right now. I'm Catherine Haleko, and with me today are Terry Morrow.
Hello there.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
Not a skunk. So today...
Nor anonymous.
Today on the podcast, we're going to talk about Uber spinoffs on our speed round, shout out some stuff we like on the Roundabout Roundup, and do some shameless self-promotion. But first, got any baby pictures of those precious children in your house?
I actually don't have baby pictures because I didn't know my children when they were babies. So
Nice.
I have 18-month and 4-year-old pictures that we got from the orphanage. But we thought we would talk today about how well documented our children's childhoods are. You often see on social media both people oversharing their kids and people judging people for oversharing their kids. And, you know, there may be a time when it'll be nice to go back and look at all those pictures and to have access to, oftentimes I raid other people's Facebook pages for pictures of my children. So I appreciate that sort of obsessive cataloging that goes on. I also think about the worst boss I ever had. I had a friend in that office who she also was just dreadful to, and it had developed at some point that this friend of mine found out that this woman had no pictures from her childhood at all. Her parents had completely cataloged her brother's childhood but never took a picture of her.
Oh, no.
Wow.
And so apparently this turned her into this monster that we were later employed by. So I think it's certainly possible to over-document your child's life and also possible to under-document it. So I thought I would ask you all today, do you lean to one or another side of that spectrum, or do you document your kid's childhood in photography exactly the right number of times? We have a ton of photo albums of the kids' younger years, and then I think I just stopped taking pictures, or maybe I got a phone and I knew I could take pictures on my phone, but then I never did, but there's a wide gap. And now I can go on iPhoto and find some, but not as many as I'd like. And rarely do I just take their picture just for fun. So, Catherine, what's your photography situation there? Do you have boxes and boxes of photos, or gigabytes and gigabytes of photos, or do you just kind of have to remember what they look like?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, we several years ago, during one of my mom's attempts to retire, which didn't really stick, I gave her CDs and thumb drives with a whole bunch with all the photos, and she printed them out and put them in albums for me.
Wow.
Because you know how you have them, but you never... When you have digital pictures, you just never get around to printing them out. Mm-hmm. So she did that for me, which was amazing. So that goes up until a few years ago, I guess. So it's probably time to see if she'll do it again, but I don't know if she will because she works still. So I should probably do it myself, but yeah. I don't know. I'm not good at that because, you know, and of course I have pictures, digital pictures saved, but they're not on the cloud. Mm-hmm. They're on the laptop, which I feel like is not a great idea. I mean, I have them backed up on the cloud, but I haven't used like iPhoto or Google or whatever I could be using.
That is a problem. You know, photos saved at different places across your various sources of technology is like the modern version of there's a roll of film in the camera that never got developed. You know, it's like it exists, but can you put your hands on it? Possibly not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we were cleaning out and reorganizing our office, which we did recently, I found a couple of CDs that had pictures on them. Oh, look at this, some pictures. And at the time, I happened to be looking for some pictures of my daughter from her early skating years, and I actually found some in that moment. Some appeared during the cleaning process, but I am already thinking about how when she's a senior, I'm going to be asked to provide all kinds of pictures of her. And that's going to happen, 2 years from now, and I'm already worried about finding the right things and accessing them, and some of them will only be hard copies, and some of them will be electronic, and do I scan them or what do I do? And I don't have a scanner that works. So
that is rough. Yeah.
I mean, and the ones that I have saved on my laptop, they're roughly organized by date, but, there will be a folder that contains months and months.
Right.
So it's not exactly, if you're like, I remember there was one, or she was doing this or that, good luck finding that.
At the time when my daughter went through that senior year needs photos of, and also I think when she graduated from 5th grade, they needed them too. And I had at that time a large box full of loose photographs from all different times in my life that I had never put in albums. So one summer when my daughter didn't have much to do, I gave her that project. So they're all albumed now. But it was sort of nice to be able to just go through hard copies of stuff looking for that thing you wanted and find it. And put it in an envelope to give to the people at school.
Right. But then don't you have to worry about what if it never comes back?
Yeah, I put my address on the back of them and stuff, but I think we got them back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true. The digital ones, it's nice because you can just put a copy on a thumb drive and hand it over if you can find it, which is not always easy to do.
And as for whether I take pictures, yeah, I mean, I do. But it's definitely one of those things that tails off as your kids get older. And things like their hockey and my son's hockey game, there are some parents who take a ton of pictures and videos and stuff. And I don't have a camera that can do that well. And am I really, really gonna watch a video of an entire hockey game?
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah, if you need it, you can get from one of those parents who do.
Right.
I find myself doing that a lot when kids line up and every parent stands there to take the picture. And I'm thinking, you know what? They're all going to put those pictures up on Facebook. I'm just going to grab them there. Exactly. Why do I need to be standing there also? Maybe they have better photo skills than me.
Right.
How about you, Nicole? How documented are your kids' lives?
It's kind of funny because when they were younger, my mom and Peter took a lot of photos. My husband took a lot of photos of the kids. And I used to get so annoyed with my husband in particular because he had a camera everywhere we went. And he would just be snapping away and not interacting with us. And I used to get so annoyed by it. And, we would be in these, places, especially vacations, would be in this grandiose location. And rather than enjoying the view with us or talking about it, he'd be 10 feet away taking pictures.
And of course, he's never then in the pictures. You have all these family pictures.
Then he's never in the pictures. And
that's me and my family.
So, of course, I didn't appreciate it at the time. And I was really kind of not happy with him for not participating in the family event, or as I saw, what I think he should be doing to participate. And then he took all the photos and he developed them and put them in albums. And my mom did the same. And so we have a plethora of photos of the kids when they were younger in albums.
Yeah.
And I'm actually grateful that he did it. Because I look back now and I'm like, I think about, they just bring up all sorts of memories and moments and wow, I'm actually, and I even said that to him the other day. I'm like, I'm actually really happy that you ended up taking all those photos and he took videos too, which wasn't really a big, nobody lugged around those big video cameras. I mean, he didn't either. He used his he had a little video recorder, but so he took videos anyway. So those are digital. So now what he's been doing is he now keeps everything on his computer. And then once I got an iPhone, then I started taking more photos of the kids, but they're just all on the computer. They never get printed out. I mean, we have thousands. I think the last time I looked, it was like 14,000 photos or something like that we had, but they don't, they haven't been printed out. And the ones that do rarely get printed out are just in a big box in my cupboard here. So, and I mean, the last major set of photos we had done, was my son's graduation from high school. And then we have that up on the wall. But yeah, we're not really like formal photo takers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have almost never done paid someone to take a portrait. Like,
yeah.
I mean, my husband actually would, he would refuse to participate in anything like that because he just absolutely can't stand getting his picture taken. So, if we, like one time our church was doing a directory, and they pay, it was complimentary to go into this one studio and get your picture taken, and they were making a directory. So it's just me and the two kids. Because my husband in no way would go and take that picture.
Yeah, we have one from a church directory, and we have one from their school was doing it as a fundraiser, so we had our picture taken. I love that picture because the photographer was really good and really engaged my son. So he's got this delightful look on his face because the guy was playing like with something he was tossing at him and pulling back. I can't remember what it was. And then when we first brought home the kids from Russia, it wouldn't have been that Christmas, but maybe the following Christmas, my sister-in-law was all determined to get formal pictures of the kids done at Sears. So that was quite the ordeal. We got them, but, my son even then wasn't much he was like 2, I guess. He was not much for sitting still. My niece was a baby, and, my daughter would sit still just fine, but it's like getting everybody to pose correctly all at once. I'm sure that photographer went home and had a stiff drink after that photo session. But I still have the pictures, and they're cute. They're good. My sister-in-law made them all matching clothes. So.
Aww.
Oh, wow.
But in terms of videos, I've never been one to take videos at activities and stuff, but I bought myself a video camera one year, and for about 6 months, I took videos all the time, and then I pretty much completely stopped. So, because it was a hassle to get that back then, to get them onto the computer, and then you had to run them through iMovie or whatever to get them to be something you could watch. It was the summer that I did this summer camp with my son and his friends, so we had videos from that, and I made them a CD at the end of the summer, and that was really nice. And for a while, the kids really, really liked watching them because it's yourself on TV. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
But that was short-lived. This camera's still somewhere collecting dust. I have no idea how to work it anymore. And I never got to the point of taking videos with my phone, but I know people do. So. No,
we don't have a lot of videos. I mean, the ones that my husband took in the earlier years, we don't have a lot, but they're usually just snippets now of different things. I mean, we have some of my son and his band, but I just don't know I would just like to put them all in one spot, but I don't know how to do that.
I have everything in iPhoto, and even then I can't find stuff.
No. My cousin, on the other hand, who is like the epitome of organization, I have deep respect for her because she makes it a priority, but she will print out the photos that are on her phone, and she will also scan like significant items, like a report card or piece of artwork or a plane ticket. Yeah. And then she makes photo books for both of her kids, and she's got them like all the way from birth.
Wow.
And her oldest one is 15 now. And she's got this huge shelving unit in her office, and they're full of these photo books of her kids when at different ages. It's incredible. I just like, wow.
That's an overachiever right there.
Kudos. Oh, she is very, very driven.
Now that person should go into business. I will curate your children's memories for this amount of money per month.
I know. And I'm every time I FaceTime her, I'm like, okay, show me what you got now. Because she just seems to add to it continuously. So,
do her kids appreciate it, or are they like, Mom, cut that out?
No, I think they're used to having a camera in their face. So
they're like jaded starlets, you know, the paparazzi. There's just no escaping them.
She's a TV producer, so they've always had a camera around. But she talks about, you know, how her daughter and son will often go in there and pull them out and look at them, and so I guess that's the value in it, right? Is having that accessible. So yeah, I just feel like it's a big hodgepodge in our house. I don't know. I have an idea, a vague idea of where I could find something if I wanted to, but it's probably not going to happen if it takes serious effort. So anyway, speaking of serious effort, should we move on to our speed round?
Let's do that.
Okay, because I noticed this on a news channel this morning, and you know, the more technology and the more accessible things we have in our life, more opportunities we have, obviously, and Uber is helping secure those opportunities to go to the doctor, apparently. So I was reading this morning that Uber, so for those listeners that don't know what Uber is, it's basically you hire a car service to come pick you up and take you somewhere. It's like a taxi, but cheaper. Apparently.
Yes, but it's just like normal folks doing the driving. Expensive professional chauffeurs.
Right. So anyway, apparently Uber has paired up with some health insurance companies to make the drive to and from the doctor's office as part of your appointment. So Uber so when you go to book your appointment with your doctor, they will also schedule you a ride.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they'll notify you when your ride is there at your house, and it'll pick you up and take you to your doctor's appointment, and then it'll take you home. And the doctor, or AKA the health insurance company, will pay for the Uber ride. So
nice.
I guess they were saying like billions of dollars are lost a year on missed appointments because people don't have the transportation or... Anyway, so I guess they're trying to save money in the healthcare industry.
Well, that's interesting. Now, do you get with this a guarantee that when the Uber driver drops you off, the doctor will see you immediately?
Well, wouldn't that be
Can they
nice?
fine-tune that so that the doctor says, we're running an hour behind, pick them up an hour later so that you get there just in time? That I would go for.
Wouldn't it be nice if they could guarantee that?
That would be awesome. Now that's a service they need to work on.
Yes.
Well, and if they're paying for your ride there and back, like presumably they're paying for the driver to wait for you.
Well,
right?
you think, yeah.
Well, I don't know. They might just send somebody else to pick you up later.
Yeah. I mean, they theoretically could have a financial incentive to...
That would be nice.
Get you in and out on time.
Yes. I think that's the bigger problem with healthcare than not having a ride is just the incredible amount of wasted time in doctors' offices and waiting rooms. They need to find some way to use that time constructively. Or pay me for that time.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to bill for it. That would be fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, so, thinking
copy
of
editing rates. Anyway, so back to
Uber. But also in the same tune, like thinking of things that'll improve our lives. What other kinds of services could Uber provide for us? In addition to now taking us to the doctor, taking us to and from the doctor, what other services do you think that Uber should provide?
Taking kids to school. Could they work that out? Could the school arrange for Uber drivers to come and pick all the kids off?
The post office. I would definitely like an Uber driver to take my mail to the post office.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Personally.
Not me personally, because I hate going there. But if I could have a postal, because you know how, I mean, you can obviously leave it in your mailbox and the mailman will pick it up, but Like, if you have to mail something special, like a parcel or something,
That's true. Even just to drop it in a box.
I know what I would want. It would be a new driver practice service.
Yes.
Because my daughter is learning to drive and, she needs to get her hours in to practice. And I really hate sitting in the car with her because it's terrifying.
That is a great idea.
And so if I had, she takes lessons, of course, but that's only, a few hours. So I need somebody that, she could be the Uber driver. And the licensed driver will just have to sit next to her. And
that would be perfect.
And ride around with her.
They can even use your car, right? You just want to rent an adult for 45 minutes.
Uber driver training.
Right.
That sounds like it has some promise.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that there are like kid cab sort of drop off and pick up services.
Yeah.
In some areas. I mean, I think that's hard, but there's certainly plenty of times where I have one child that has to go here and one child that has to go there, and I have to go to a third place, and how am I going to get everybody where they need to go?
Mm-hmm.
So it's carpooling is what we do, but maybe if they made Uber for carpool so that, because you don't always know who else is going to the same place at the same time as you.
Right.
So if they could sort of coordinate, like, my trip is from this neighborhood to this ice rink. Who else is going?
Right.
Uber carpool could have some.
Uber carpool.
Yeah.
That's a new source of outreach for them.
Yeah. Right. That's a good idea. And pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
They'd have to pick them up and bring them home from their activities.
Right.
Yes.
Which, is out there, I think, as a service, but I don't know how expensive it is and how scary it is to send your kid out on
There's an
something
Uber
like
thing now to, like, go pick up takeout food for you, right? Did I read that?
Yeah.
That Uber's branched out, or Lyft, or one of those?
McDonald's.
Well, there's like Uber Eats or something,
Yeah,
isn't there?
Uber Eats.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
That ain't
the
bad.
problem is that none of these things tend to be available where I live, so.
Well.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else would be a great service.
I would go for the doctor one, not for my regular doctor, but if I had to, like, go to a specialist and I didn't quite know where it was, so instead of having to look up on all the maps and stuff, if they want to just send me a car, that'd be fine, especially if it's like a specialist in New York City.
Right.
That would be great, because I don't want to take the bus to go to a doctor, but I don't want to drive in there either. And like, when you go to get dental work and then you're groggy and you can't drive home, instead of having a friend who's then going to tease you forever about the stupid things you said when you were drugged,
Right.
as my dad did to my mom throughout my childhood. This way some anonymous schlub could come get you, pour you back in through your door.
Yeah.
And no one needs to be the wiser.
Not tell you that it's the zombie apocalypse, like that
Yes.
incredible viral video.
Right.
The brothers.
They would have to sign some paperwork that they will not take embarrassing videos of you and then blackmail you later.
Right.
That would have to be spelled out in advance.
They're gonna.
That's right.
Be
They're
discreet.
good to go. What about like Uber disposal? Like if you need anything disposed of, like
Oh, that'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
We've
like-
actually hired people to take stuff away for us, and it's expensive.
it is. I mean, what if you just have for example, I had 2 old bar stools that I just
Yes.
they couldn't fit in my garbage can, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They needed to go somewhere. They couldn't fit in my car. It's not enough to like have a big old dump truck come pick them up.
Yes.
So if you just had like Uber disposal come and pick it up and take it away for you, or even paint. We have old paint sitting here, and it requires us going to a special place in town to dispose of it.
Yep.
Like if they just had like a general Uber disposal service, that'd
Uber
be kind
trash.
of cool.
Yeah.
I could use that. Dispose of all my old electronics.
Yes. Please go put these in front of somebody else's door so they get the fine.
Right. They get the
Exactly.
big orange notice from the trash.
Exactly. Put
man.
these. Here's the address of the person whose curb I would like you to put this stuff on. A whole new area of income for Uber drivers.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, maybe some of our listeners have some ideas as well, and they can mention it in the comments on our Facebook page. Is that where we're directing people?
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. On our podcast page at parentingroundabout.com, you can comment. There's a whole comments feature. Lots of 0 comments as you scroll down that page. Come on.
Give us an idea of what you would like to see Uber do.
Yes.
In addition to all our suggestions today. So, and remember,
Definitely.
You can hear a new Speed Round with a new topic every Wednesday through Friday.
And now we will bring you some of the things we've read or seen or used recently that we want to shout out and share with you. Nicole, you have something exciting.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. So, when we first moved to California 10 years ago, one of the very first outings we had as a family was, or at least between my husband and my son, was they went to see a concert at the House of Blues, which is at the Disneyland location in Anaheim. And I can't remember who they went to see. But anyway, it was my son's first experience going to a concert. Well, fast forward 10 years. And next Saturday, he's actually going to be playing on the stage at the House of Blues in the very same venue. So it's
cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So him and his band, he's been playing guitar since he was like 7 years old and has always had some kind of a band going. It's mostly played in our garage.
Have you taken pictures of all these different iterations of his band?
My husband has.
There you go.
And he's played all his life. And so this is exciting because he has a new band now called To the Wolves. And they've actually played some pretty cool venues like the Whiskey a Go-Go and the Viper Room.
Wow.
And now they're adding the House of Blues to their list of stages. So it's very cool that, that was also the place where he saw his first concert. Now he gets to stand up there.
Yes.
And be the one.
So when is that going to be? In case any of our listeners want to?
Yeah, they're
go to
in the
Disneyland
area, March the 10th at 9 p.m. at the House of Blues in Anaheim.
Nice.
That's where he'll be, and us.
That is
He's ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
The old people in the club.
Terry, what do you have to round up today?
Well, I'm going to talk about a tiny triumph. We've talked a lot on this podcast about the Sandbox app, which allows you to color by numbers using your finger on your phone. It is very enjoyable, very relaxing. I often find interesting ways to color it so that when it plays back the coloring process afterwards, it looks cool. And recently, with an update of the app, they introduced this horrible thing where if you tap something twice, it fills in an entire block of stuff, which I'm not in that much of a hurry,
Right.
I'm doing this for relaxation and for procrastination.
The repetitive, gentle tapping to get the color.
Exactly. Slow your roll, Sandbox. We want to take it. We want to tap each of those individual boxes, please. So I was frustrated about it, and I sent a little email through the app saying, is there a way to turn that off, please? And then I was talking to my friend who I had turned onto it after you turned me onto it, and she messaged me, what do you think about that new thing on Sandbox? It's awful. I emailed them. And I said, I emailed them. And she had just agreed to pay them for the special ones. And so she, I think, emailed them multiple times in complaint. And then I asked you, Catherine, about it. And you said, I hate it. Why did they do that? So the other day, my friend messaged me, I guess our emails got to them because they added a way to turn it off. She had been checking updates every day for them to update this thing. Because she says the tapping is therapeutic. I need to be able to tap all those individual boxes. So it is now, they added a toggle to turn it on and off. And my friend and I are going to take credit for it. Y'all are welcome, all you Sandbox fans.
Thank you.
You can still, if you're lazy and you want to just fill in 20 boxes at a tap, you go ahead. But I'm going to turn it off.
Right. Yeah, it's nice that they made it a toggle because
thank goodness. I wonder if that was always the plan and they just rushed it out too soon, or if a whole bunch of old ladies like us complained. We like to tap all the individual boxes, young people.
Here for the tapping. Stop.
Don't. It's so discouraging because you're you're working very carefully and then all of a sudden you accidentally tap twice and everything is full.
Right. And you can't Can't go back.
And
that's it.
You can't undo it. It's
Done
not fair.
deal. It's a done
All
deal.
right,
I feel so
I'm glad
ashamed. I
that
haven't
worked out.
tried it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
You gotta do
I
it.
know.
now it's true. You can now turn it on and off, so there's no obligation. You can go back to your slow
I'll
tapping.
never know
if you
what
wish.
it used to be.
So what do you got, Catherine?
Well, it's not quite a roundup yet. So my husband got, as a gift at a business thing, a Google Home. So it's basically
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
you know, it's an Alexa or whatever
Yeah.
smart device. And I don't know what to do with it. I mean, you can ask it to tell you a joke, or you can ask it what the weather is, but beyond that, like,
Oh.
I don't really get it. I don't really see what I'm
Turn it
how I'm
on and you
supposed-
I love
allow
it.
it to run your
I
life.
know, but I'm scared to do that.
I
And
love it.
just in general, I don't really know what I should be doing with it. So I'm asking
Give it
to your
for
kids.
suggestions.
They will know.
Well, my
Well-
son wanted something like that, so he's very excited.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this isn't really like a helpful kind of idea that you can do with it, but this is kind of a fun idea. My husband and I actually have started doing this every morning now when we have coffee.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Is we play this game where they play a song lyric and you have to guess the name of the song.
Oh, okay. So
So-
name that too,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So we do and then my daughter will play I don't know, like 20 questions, or you can do trivia, or I don't know, it's kind of fun too. Like you can use it for, you know, if you're just kind of sitting there and relaxing, it kind of can.
Mm-hmm. And I've
have
heard
some
that
fun
you
with
can
it.
do like set a timer for 5 minutes or whatever, like if so you don't have to touch anything. Like if you're
Mhm.
cooking or you're, you know, in the middle of something, you can just tell it to go ahead and set a timer.
All I know about those things are what I see on commercials.
Right.
So,
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like, I'm glad we got it for free, because it just doesn't seem like something that is going to be so valuable that we would spend money on.
did you guys ever see the movie? I think it was called Smart Home on the Disney Channel, maybe? Or was that before your kids'
Yeah, I don't
time?
remember
Katie
seeing it.
Segal plays like a sort of like a Janet on The Good Place,
Uh-huh.
and slowly goes crazy, but and starts running the house in very disruptive ways. That's what I think of when I think of having those home
Right.
control devices, and I don't get them.
Right. I don't know.
But
I've seen people hook it up to their Christmas tree lights so you can tell it to turn them on instead
that
of
would be handy.
crawling around
I
underneath.
did that this past Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could probably do that with anything. You turn it on and off, lamps and...
Well, you have to have
Yeah, I
special plugs if you do that.
Oh,
Right.
because I work in my bedroom, and my daughter's at work all day. My son is in his room, and sometimes I come out like at 5 or 6 o'clock at night, and it's dark in the living room.
Yes.
Nobody's been in there. So if Google Home wanted to turn on my lights, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my sort of new toy.
I think you have to start small.
Okay, we will.
Start small, and it'll gradually become a part of your world.
Yeah, well, there's no pressure since you didn't pay for it, so
Right.
you can start small without feeling like, why did I drop all this cash on
Yeah.
something that just is, playing Name That Tune with me.
Right.
we use it to play music in the background too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a great speaker on it. So if I'm just sitting there working, I'll have it play whatever I'm feeling like listening to. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll eventually become part of your life.
Okay, we'll see. All right, well, that's
Keep us posted.
it for the roundup for today, then.
And that brings us to our final segment for today, which is Shameless Self-Promotion, in which we are going to direct you some things on our sites that we think you should take a look at. I will use my shameless self-promotion moment here to make another pitch for listening to our podcast on the RadioPublic app. I've been using it all week and listening to a ridiculous amount of podcasting and enjoying it. But the important thing is that if you could please download the RadioPublic app and use it even at least to listen to our podcast, we get a few pennies for each play. So that would be a very easy way to support our podcast. So go to the link we're going to have in our show notes. which is our podcast page on RadioPublic. There is a link there that says send to my phone. If you click on that and send it to your phone, you will then get a link that will go right to our page, help you download the app and then go right to our page. And then anytime you listen to it on that page, we will get a little bit of change in our pockets. So please check that out. We really appreciate it. And Nicole, what do you have to self-promote today?
Well, I'm also going to repeat myself and promote a webinar that I have coming up with EdWeb. And it's on March the 27th, and it's free. It's for an hour at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I will be talking about making curriculum work for students who learn below grade level. So it's related, of course, to my new book. Yay. And you can find the information on my website at theinclusiveclass.com.
All right.
So mark your calendars and sign up.
Yay. And what do you have, Catherine?
I have something new over at Reader's Digest that is about pi 3.14, the mathematical constant. So it's 15 fascinating facts about the mystery of pi. And Terry, I know you're going to ask, yes, there are recipes for pie that are linked, P-I-E, that are linked in there too.
So both pie and pie.
Right. So that was kind of a fun.
So can you share with us one fascinating thing about pie off your list?
In the late, 19th century, I believe, there was a doctor in Indiana who just decided, you know what, 3.14, that's too complicated, that's too many decimal points, so we are going to just make it 3.2, that'll be fine, and I'm going to patent this idea, and but I'm going to allow the state of Indiana to use it for free, but anybody else who wants to use that 3.2 instead of 3.14, they'll have to pay me a royalty. So, he tried to get this passed by the Indiana state legislature, and eventually they figured out that, you can't really just change a mathematical constant by law. So that wasn't going to work.
No.
So that went away. So there you go.
Nor can you find every person who uses it in their calculations and make them pay you.
Right.
That would be tough. Enforcement of that would be difficult.
Just not a real good, solid idea. So, yes.
Well, let's all feel superior to that guy now. Make us feel good about ourselves as we take it out.
And that's it for this week's episode of Parenting Roundabout. We hope you enjoyed it and that you'll join us every week. You can listen to podcast episodes on parentingroundabout.com or download them from Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe so you get all of our podcasts and mini podcasts. You can also follow us on Twitter, where I am at Nicole Eridix, Catherine is at C. Haleko, and Terry is at Mamatude. And you can also follow us on Twitter at Roundabout Chat and look for us on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, YouTube, and Instagram too. Best of all, stop by our podcast page at parentingroundabout.com and read recaps, find links on the stories we mentioned, and talk back in the comments. Thanks to John Moran at johnjmoran.com for providing our in and out music, and I wish everyone a great week.